In the heart of Southeast Asia, between the mountains of the north, the forests of the interior, and the slow brown force of the Mekong River, lies a country that seems to move at a different speed from the rest of the region. It is not a country of loud skylines or endless coastlines. It has no sea, no crowded beaches facing the open ocean, no giant city trying to tell the whole story. Instead, Laos is shaped by rivers, valleys, temples, rice fields, mountain roads, wooden homes, morning markets, and a kind of silence that does not feel empty. It feels lived in. For many travelers, Laos may bring to mind golden temples, saffron robes, quiet streets, long boats on the Mekong mist over limestone mountains, and old towns where morning begins before the sun has fully risen. But beyond these peaceful images, there is another Laos, a living country of farmers, monks, vendors, drivers, students, boatmen, shopkeepers, cooks, children, grandparents and families shaping their days between tradition and change. This is Laos. To understand how people live in Laos, it is not enough to look at the postcard view. You have to come closer. You have to stand beside the river when the first boats move through the gray morning light. You have to walk through a market while baskets of herbs, sticky rice fish, vegetables, and grilled food fill the narrow lanes. You have to listen to sandals on temple steps, motorbikes passing slowly through old streets, chickens moving beneath wooden houses, and families calling to one another from open kitchens. Laos is often described as quiet, but quiet does not mean still. Quiet does not mean empty. Here life is always moving, but often in a softer way. A woman opens her stall before sunrise. A young monk crosses the street with his bowl held close. A farmer walks toward a field, while mist still hangs above the ground. A boatman checks the river before the first passengers arrive. A child in a school uniform waits beside a road as dust rises slowly behind passing motorbikes. A grandmother sits near a doorway, watching the day begin with the calm patience of someone who has seen many mornings come and go. From above, Laos does not appear as one simple place. It looks like a long green body held together by rivers and mountains. The Mekong moves along much of its western side, carrying boats, fish memories, trade stories, and daily routines from village to village. In some places, the river is wide and slow, reflecting the sky in long bands of brown and silver. In other places, it narrows between banks of trees, rocks, houses, and small docks, where people wait with bags, baskets, and quiet conversations. Farther inland, the land rises into hills and mountains. Roads twist between forests and valleys. Villages appear suddenly between slopes, then disappear again behind bamboo banana trees and rice fields. In the north, mornings can feel almost dreamlike. Mist settles over the valleys. Roosters call from hidden homes. Smoke rises from small kitchens, and the mountains hold the light until the sun finally breaks through. In the south, the rhythm changes again. The land opens toward warmer lowlands. The river widens. Fields stretch under heavy skies, and life often moves with the seasons, planting, harvesting, fishing, repairing, selling, waiting, and beginning again. Geography is not just background in Laos. It decides how people travel. It decides what they eat. It decides how homes are built, how markets gather, how villages connect, and how long it takes to reach the next town. In a country without a coastline, rivers become roads. Mountains become borders between ways of life. And distance is measured not only in kilometers, but in bend slopes, ferry crossings, rain dust, and patience. In Luang Prabang, morning begins gently. Before the town becomes bright, before visitors fill the streets, before the shops fully open, there is a moment when the old town seems to breathe in silence. The walls of old buildings hold the last shade of night. Then, little by little, life appears. Monks walk barefoot through the streets. Local people prepare small offerings. Vendors begin arranging fruit rice cakes, vegetables, woven goods, and hot food. The first motorbikes pass carefully. A broom moves across a front step. A metal shutter opens. Someone lights a small cooking fire. Luang Prabang is famous, but for the people who live there, it is not only a beautiful old town. It is where someone buys breakfast, where someone takes children to school, where someone opens a guest house, where someone repairs a bicycle, where someone sells soup from the same corner every morning, where a temple bell is not a tourist sound but part of the day. Some streets are admired by visitors for their beauty, but for local families, those same streets are roots of work, memory, errands, prayer, and home. A place can be historic and ordinary at the same time. It can be a dream for one person and a daily routine for another. That is one of the quiet powers of Laos. The famous and the everyday often stand side by side without competing. A temple wall, a noodle stall, a passing monk, a child laughing near a doorway, a traveler lifting a camera, a local woman carrying vegetables home. All of it belongs to the same morning. To live here is to move through beauty without always needing to name it. In the markets of Laos, the country becomes visible on a single table. There are bundles of greens still damp from the morning, small fish from rivers and ponds, bamboo shoots, eggplants, chilies, bananas, mushrooms, sticky rice packed in baskets, fresh herbs with sharp, clean smells, grilled meat smoking above charcoal, bowls of noodle soup steaming in the cool air. People do not come only to buy food. They come to talk, to bargain, to ask about family, to hear what happened in another village, to complain about the weather, to laugh with a vendor they have known for years, to choose ingredients not only by price, but by habit, memory, and trust. The market is not simply a place of exchange. It is one of the ways Laos speaks, through hands weighing vegetables, through knives cutting herbs, through smoke rising from grills, through the soft sound of sticky rice being opened from a bamboo container, through the small patience of people waiting for breakfast before work. Food is not just something people eat here. It is one of the ways Laos remembers where it comes from. A meal can carry the river, the forest, the field, the home, and the season. Sticky rice is eaten with the hands. Shared dishes sit in the center. Flavors are bright, earthy, smoky, sour, salty, fresh, and simple without feeling plain. A family meal may include grilled fish, vegetables, herbs, dips, soup, and rice. In some homes, food is cooked over fire. In others, it comes from a small kitchen behind a shop or beside a road. What matters is not only the taste, it is the gathering, the way people sit close, the way children reach for rice, the way older people are served, the way conversation moves slowly between bites, the way food makes a house feel like a place of return. In Vientiane, the rhythm is different. The capital does not move like the great megacities of Asia. It has traffic offices, construction, cafes, schools, banks, shops, government buildings, temples, and growing neighborhoods. But even here, the city often keeps a softer edge. The Mekong still gives it a place to breathe. In the morning, people commute to work on motorbikes. Students gather outside schools. Street vendors set up carts near busy corners. Coffee shops open for office workers. Small restaurants prepare lunch before the heat grows stronger. At midday, the sun sits heavily on the roads. People move more slowly. Motorbikes search for shade. Vendors fan their stalls. Drivers wait. Workers eat quickly before returning to the day. The city is modernizing, but it does not erase the older rhythm completely. Temples still stand between ordinary streets. Markets still pull people together. Families still run small businesses from the front of their homes. A house can also be a shop. A front room can become a restaurant. A courtyard can hold tools, laundry, motorbikes, cooking pots, and children's toys. A country's economy can be seen not only in factories, numbers, or tall buildings, but in the hands that open a shop before sunrise. The drivers who cross long roads, the farmers who bring produce to town, and the families who turn small spaces into places of work. In Laos, work is often close to home. It is personal. It is visible. A woman cuts herbs for customers she recognizes. A mechanic repairs a motorbike under a patch of shade. A tuk-tuk driver waits for passengers near a temple gate. A young person checks a phone while helping at a family stall. A builder carries materials through the heat. A teacher walks past the market with papers in hand. A fisherman prepares his net by the river. A farmer looks at the sky and thinks about rain. These are not dramatic scenes, but they are the scenes that make a country real. Life here is built from small responsibilities repeated every day. Open the stall, cook the rice, send the children to school, cross the river, repair the roof, check the field, answer the customer, bring food home, visit relatives, rest when evening comes, then do it again. In many parts of Laos, movement is part of life. Roads connect towns, but they can be long, winding, slow, and changed by weather. Buses carry people between provinces. Motorbikes carry families, goods, school bags, market baskets, tools, and sometimes more than seems possible. Boats still matter, especially where rivers shape the map more naturally than roads. In rural areas, a journey that looks short from above can take time. A road may climb through mountains. A ferry may wait for the right moment. A village may sit beyond a bend where the signal is weak, and the sound of engines fades quickly into birds and insects. Distance teaches patience. People plan around it. They leave early. They carry what they need. They learn to wait. Waiting is part of the rhythm. Waiting for transport. Waiting for rain. Waiting for customers. Waiting for children to return from school. Waiting for family members to come back from the city or from work far away. In Laos, waiting does not always feel like wasted time. Sometimes it becomes conversation. Sometimes it becomes rest. Sometimes it becomes watching the river move, because the river has always known how to take its time. Beyond the towns, the country changes again. Here, life follows another rhythm. In villages surrounded by rice fields, the day begins with sound before light. Roosters, dogs, children, cooking, water. The first motorbike starting somewhere in the distance. Wooden houses may stand on posts with shaded spaces below, where tools are kept, animals move, and family members sit during the hottest parts of the day. Rice fields reflect the sky after rain. During planting season, the land becomes soft and full of movement. During harvest, the fields turn warm and golden. People bend, cut, carry, gather, dry, store, and share. The work can be tiring, but it is also deeply connected to family and season. In many villages, people know one another not as strangers passing through, but as part of a living network. A child is not watched by one pair of eyes, but by many. A celebration belongs to more than one household. A problem is discussed by neighbors. A meal can expand when someone arrives. A road, a well, a field, a temple, a small shop, a school, a riverbank. These are not just places. They are points of connection. Community is not an idea here. It is practical. It helps people move through daily life. It helps families handle work, distance, weather, and change. In a small place, being known can feel both heavy and comforting. People see what you do. They remember your family. They know your habits. They know when you leave, when you return, when you are struggling, and when you need help. For many people in Laos, this is part of why home matters. Not because life is easy, but because life is shared. In the mountains, the sense of distance becomes stronger. Villages may sit on slopes above valleys or along roads that curve through forested land. The air can feel cooler. The views can be wide and beautiful. But beauty does not remove effort. Children may walk long distances. Farmers may work steep land. Families may depend on roads that become harder during rain. Markets may be far. Healthcare, education, and jobs may require travel. Young people may leave for towns or cities, not because they do not love home, but because opportunity often asks them to move. This is one of the quiet challenges of Laos: how to keep the strength of village life while the younger generation looks outward. How to protect language, food, craft, memory, and family ties, while phones, roads, tourism, construction, and new ambitions change the pace of life. Life here is not frozen in the past. It is changing, but change often arrives unevenly. In one place, a new road shortens a journey. In another, a family still waits for better access. In one town, young people open cafes, learn languages, and work with visitors. In another village, families still depend on fields, forests, and seasonal income. This contrast is part of the country, not loud, not simple, but real. Along the Mekong, Laos reveals another side of itself. The river is not only scenery, it is a companion. People cross it, fish from it, wash near it, sit beside it, sail along it, and measure time by its changes. In the dry season, the river can pull back and reveal sandbanks. In the rainy season, it grows heavier, wider, and more powerful. For those who live near it, the Mekong is familiar but never completely controlled. It gives and it asks. It connects and separates. It carries boats, but it also reminds people that nature has its own pace. At sunset, the river becomes one of the most peaceful places in the country. The light softens. The heat breaks. Children play near the banks. Food stalls begin to glow. People sit with drinks, grilled snacks, and conversations that do not need to hurry. The water reflects gold, orange, gray, and purple. Boats move like shadows. For a few minutes, the whole day seems to loosen. This is not the silence of a place with nothing happening. It is the silence of people who have worked through the day and are allowed for a moment to simply be. In Laos, spirituality is also woven into ordinary time. Temples are not separate from life. They stand near markets, homes, schools, roads, and riverbanks. They hold ceremonies, memories, teachings, festivals, and the daily presence of monks. In the morning, the sight of saffron robes against pale streets is one of the country's most recognizable images. But behind the image is a living practice. It is not only beautiful, it is part of routine, part of giving, part of discipline, part of community. For many families, temples are where children learn respect, where elders gather, where festivals mark the calendar, and where life's important moments are carried with care. The spiritual life of Laos is not always loud. Often it is quiet. A candle, a bowl, a bell, a hand placing food gently, a person bowing before returning to ordinary work. The sacred and the everyday stand close together. A person may pass a temple on the way to sell vegetables. A child may play near a wall painted with old stories. A family may prepare food for a ceremony and then return to washing dishes, sweeping floors, and checking the shop. This closeness gives Laos much of its feeling. Life does not divide itself sharply between the spiritual and the practical. Both appear in the same morning. Both live on the same street. In the old places of Laos, memory sits in the landscape. At the Plain of Jars, stone vessels rest across open land like questions left by people from another time. They are heavy, silent, and mysterious. Visitors may come to see them as an archaeological wonder, but for Laos, places like this also show how deep the land's memory goes. The present is not built on empty ground. It stands above stories, migrations, beliefs, trade routes, villages, ceremonies, and lives that came before. But even near famous sites, daily life continues. People still farm. Children still go to school. Vendors still sell food. Families still cook dinner. The ancient and the ordinary do not cancel each other. They share the same horizon. In southern Laos, the atmosphere changes once more. The land feels warmer and more open. Near older temple landscapes and river islands, life can seem to stretch out with the water. People move by boat. Fishermen work in the changing light. Small guest houses and family homes sit near paths where bicycles, motorbikes, animals, and children all pass through the same space. There is softness here, but also work. Tourism may bring income to some families. Farming and fishing remain important for others. Young people may dream of bigger towns. Older people may hold tightly to the land and river that shaped them. Every region of Laos has its own rhythm. The north is not the same as the south. The capital is not the same as the village. The mountain road is not the same as the riverbank. But across these differences, certain scenes return again and again. Rice being prepared, a small shop opening, a motorbike carrying too much and somehow still moving, a family sitting close together, a temple roof catching the sun, a market slowly emptying after morning, a child waving from a doorway. a road disappearing into green hills. These repeated scenes become the country's quiet language. They are how Laos tells its story without raising its voice. In the evening, the country softens. The markets begin to close. Vendors count money, pack vegetables, cover baskets, wash bowls, and stack plastic chairs. Children return home. Motorbikes carry families through the warm air. Smoke rises again from kitchens. In towns, the lights come on slowly. In villages, darkness arrives more completely. A single bulb outside a home can make a small circle of yellow light. People gather on porches. Dogs settle under houses. The sound of insects grows louder. Somewhere, music may play softly from a phone. Somewhere else, a family eats dinner with the television on in the background. Beside the river, the last colors leave the sky. In the city, restaurants fill. In small villages, conversations continue in the open air. Evening is when Laos feels most intimate. The day's work is not forgotten, but it becomes less urgent. People return to the relationships that hold life together. Parents ask children about school. Grandparents sit quietly while others prepare food. Neighbors stop to speak. Someone repairs something that broke during the day. Someone washes clothes. Someone checks on a relative. Someone sends a message to a family member far away. The world outside may be changing quickly, but inside these evening routines, there is a kind of steadiness. Not perfect, not romantic, but deeply human. Life in Laos is not without difficulty. The challenges are not separate from daily life. They are woven into the way people move, work, wait, adapt, and continue. Distance can make opportunity harder to reach. Rain can change roads. Heat can slow the body. Work can be uncertain. Young people may have to leave home to study, earn money, or imagine a different future. Families may balance tradition with new needs. Small businesses may depend on seasons, travelers' roads, and local demand. Farmers may depend on weather that does not always arrive as expected. But the story of Laos is not a story of weakness. It is a story of adaptation. People adjust. They carry on. They share work. They build slowly. They move when they must and return when they can. They make small plans. They hold on to food, language, family, faith, and land. They do not need life to be easy in order to find meaning in it. This is what makes the quiet of Laos different. It is not silence because nothing happens. It is quiet because so much of life happens without performance, without shouting, without needing to turn every moment into a spectacle. A man repairs a net. A woman washes vegetables. A child reads in the shade. A monk sweeps a temple yard. A driver waits beside his vehicle. A family eats together. A farmer looks across a field. A grandmother watches the road. These are small images, but together they explain more than a skyline ever could. So why do people stay? The answer is not found in statistics. It is found in the simple truths of daily life. They stay for family, for the river, for the fields, for the temple they have known since childhood, for the market where people know their name, for the taste of food cooked the way their parents cooked it, for the sound of rain on a roof, for the road that leads back to their village, for the language spoken at home, for the memory of grandparents, for the feeling that even when life is hard, it belongs to them. Some people leave and return. Some leave and send money back. Some build new lives in the city. Some remain in the village. Some move between places, carrying home with them in habits, food, speech, and memory. Belonging in Laos is not always tied to one house. Sometimes it is tied to a river, a mountain, a family name, a temple, a field, a way of cooking, a way of greeting, a way of sitting together when the day is done. Perhaps this is what makes Laos so powerful. It does not demand attention in the way louder places do. It waits. It opens slowly. It asks the viewer to notice small things. The steam above a bowl of soup, the weight of sticky rice in the hand, the movement of a boat crossing brown water, the glow of a temple roof after rain, the sound of a market before sunrise, the patience of people who live with distance, season, memory, and change. Geography is not just background here. It shapes how people eat, work, travel, build homes, raise children, remember the past, and imagine the future. To live in Laos is to live with contrast, between river and mountain, between village and city, between old rituals and modern roads, between famous beauty and ordinary responsibility, between the quiet image outsiders see and the full life people carry every day. And behind every landscape, there are people moving through another day, carrying food, opening shops, crossing rivers, climbing roads, cooking for family, waiting for buses, sweeping temple yards, planting rice, repairing motorbikes, and keeping alive the quiet routines that make a country real. This is Laos, not just a place to visit, not just Asia's last quiet land, but a way of life between the Mekong and the mountains, between patience and change, between memory and tomorrow. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe and continue exploring how people live across the world.